Start with your runners this Thursday, Charlie. And Blue Point, would he be about as exciting a horse as you've run over here?
For sure, he's been an exciting horse for myself and the team since his 2-year-old career started. Obviously, as we know, his career highlights were, winner of the Gym Crack there as a 2-year-old, and was multiple placed at Group 1 level. And then his 3-year-old career there, he won at Ascot there, the Pavilion, on his first start, and then he obviously ran in the Commonwealth fair at Royal Ascot, and it was always billed to be a very exciting race, and I don't think it let the public down and the viewers. It really was an exciting race to be part of. We finished 3rd on the day, but we lost nothing in defeat. Then we gave him a little break there, and ran him in the Haydock sprint there, and unfortunately it was bottomless ground. And saying that, I don't think I'm probably on faster ground. We would have beat Harry's Angel that day. It was scintillating form. And then we just finished off the season there, winning the Group 3 there back at Ascot again. And we were contemplating Champions Day, but we were pretty confident the ground was going to be on the slow side for him against those better sprinters. So we finished him in preparation to always work back from an Alquoz.
And you've had a clean run with him here since he got here?
Yeah, his preparation's gone very well. He looks great. He's ready to run now. He's definitely going to come forward for the run as well. Because we've got that European season ahead of us. It's not all about this Thursday, but I'm confident he's going to run a big race.
Whilst he was a very good 3-year-old, does he give you that impression that he's going to be even better this year?
Physically, he's done exactly what you'd like him to do as a sprinter. He's just got stronger, and he's become more, I say, professional. He knows it's race day this Thursday. I was telling him, he's there now, and like I say, physically he's just done very well.
What about the 1,000 metres? He doesn't strike me as being short of speed for that sort of trip.
No, exactly. You see him, over the 6 there. He jumps and he travels extremely well. So dropping back to 5 doesn't concern me. It's not a fact-finding mission from any stretch of imagination. Like I say, the plan is the Alquoz, but if he can show the natural speed that we see here over that 5, then that'll open his options up for the European season as respects to hopefully looking towards a King's Stand and maybe a Nunthorpe.
Obviously, you're coming up against Dirty Joe, one of the quickest horses in the world, but not afraid to take him on at this stage of the season?
No, I mean, again, we need to get a run into us before World Cup night, and obviously all the respect for Ertijau, as he's quite rightly said, he's the quickest thing around at the moment there, but we think our fella's quick, so we shall see.
And then you got Folkswood in the Dubai Millennium. Did his sort of progression this time last year take you by surprise a little bit? Second in the Group 1?
I have to be honest, yeah, it did. I mean, it was one of those typical horses that excelled out here, but gained a lot of confidence in doing so. And we sort of did roll the dice in the Jebel Hatta with him, sort of thinking that, well, he's come to a level that he's out of handicaps really back in the UK, and he didn't let us down. I say, he ran a very creditable race, finishing 2nd there. I almost thought we pinched it at one stage. But again, went back to Europe and campaigned at group level again, and always ran solid races. Sent him to Australia there, and obviously one of his claims to fame is finishing 3rd to Winks in the track record. So, and then after that he backed up and ran another solid race there in the Emirates. He's back here now, has had a nice break. And goes into Thursday in very good order.
And obviously, bearing in mind the Australian trip, was it always in your mind to start him a little bit later this carnival?
That's correct, yes. So, like I say, he had a nice little break there on arrival, and then we've just basically worked back from the Dubai Millennium.
And then you got Bay of Poets and the Zabeel Mile. Similar scenario to Folkswood. Is this a good opportunity for him to get a Group 2 under his belt?
Yeah, hopefully. It's been a bit frustrating, Bay of Poets. I'm sure, like yourself and most viewers have seen him, he travels very well through his races, and he just seems to falter there at the business end. Dropping back to a mile, we hope that it's going to suit him if he can go a nice gallop there. I say, because he's such a good traveller, hopefully they might just be able to take him, maybe able to travel for longer and see whether we can encourage him to get his head in front.
Obviously, he's won this a couple of times with Safety Check. Would it be a similar horse in that he'll travel a bit and do that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, again, with Safety Check, he was a sort of horse that he was probably more of a natural 7 furlong horse, whereas I don't know whether we would see this horse dropping back to 7. Well, a bit wiser after Thursday, but this horse looks more of the miler and sometimes we feel it might be 1.25 miles. So slightly different profiles, but again, goes are in good shape, and we're hopeful.
And then Footbridge, just a bit of a day out for him and George Wood on the dirt.
Yeah, well, George, to be fair, Footbridge has done a nice bit of say donkey work here. He's been leading a lot of the horses here, and this opportunity came up. And like I say, George has been riding all winter, and you know, full credit to the team here. That even I spoke with William. We just said it'd be a good experience for George. He's had a spin round on the turf there last week on GK Chesterton, and he got a bit of experience round on the dirt. So, but I did say to him this morning, you need to make sure you get him out from stall 1, or else you're going to eat a lot of dirt.
Sure he will. And then 3 in the finale, Iron Hollow, Walton Street, Wolf Country. You'd expect Iron Hollow to go pretty close after last time?
Yeah, for sure. He's come out of the race very well. I've applied the hood this time, as you probably saw there. He does tend to get a bit keen. And although it was a bit of a slowly run affair there on the last start, but come out of the race well. And if there's a nice sensible gallop on, and he can get into a nice rhythm, he's going to be very competitive along with Walton Street as well. He would prefer to, although he's ridden a bit closer to the pace than Iron Hollow last time, he'll appreciate hopefully a nice gallop on. And Wolf Country is a horse that threatened to potentially go the right way for us there in the spring of his 3-year-old career. Obviously, he was a listed winner in one of the trials there in France, over 1.5 miles, but it just didn't really progress from there on. He's been gelded since, and he looks great, and has done everything that's been asked of him here. So it's more of a fact-finding mission with him, to see where we are with him as respects to going back to Europe.
And just a quick update, Charlie, on a couple of your Carnival winners already so far this season, who we may not see again. Starting with Jungle Cat, did he surprise you at all last time?
No, it didn't surprise us, to be honest with you. In respects to, we've always been looking forward to stepping him up to 7. He's ran, he's becoming one of the veterans in Dubai now, but over 6 there. He just always looked from 2 down, and he just got tapped for a bit of pace there, and then finished strongly. So, needless to say, that the logical move was to step up to 7, which we did there back in the UK, and he obviously was a winner over 7, and he was placed over 7 at black type level. But he's another horse. As soon as he arrives here, he thrives, and I think the track suits him. He likes a nice flat track, and so they're going into the Alpha Heat. It wasn't a surprise at all. It was a hard choice for William at the time to decide on whether it was Debay or Jungle Cat.
And what options would you have with him now? I guess you have to go back to 6 almost here. Yeah,
potentially, but he might be one of our international campaigners. We might take a look to Australia with him for the Sydney Championships. There's a couple of 7 furlong events down there for him at Group 1 level, and something I'd like to try, love to achieve with a horse like him. If he could get that Group 1 tag behind him. He's been placed in a couple of Alquazes now, so he's been knocking on the door. So I just think we've tried that over 6 over the last few years now, and we've not managed to get our head in front. We've ran well, but not managed to get our head in front. So I think it's time we change him up a little bit, and like I say, look down towards the 7 furlong route.
You got Salsabil, who impressed everybody, but you say you might back off him and wait for the UK?
Yeah, as you know, he's a lightly raced horse, and although he took the race well, he's still very unfurnished, and he's a horse I think hopefully if we mind him, we'll see him around for a few years. So yeah, we made a conscious decision that we'll leave him for this year, the rest of the winter here. Say it was his first run back off a long layoff. One very impressive, the form's working out very well from that race. We're going to get him back to Europe and go with that European campaign, and then hopefully we'll see him back out here next winter potentially. But I'm hoping we might have nicked a few races back in the UK by then.